So 5 years ago, my life was very different than it is today. I was working 50 hours a week as a general manager for a luxury fashion company. I commuted to work 45 minutes twice a day on a bus. I was 100% invested into my home, and my home was my financial asset, my only asset. Like many Canadians, our homes are our future retirement. I was asset rich and cash poor. I was basically living month to month. My story is about being a single mom and how life can change. It is about taking a leap of faith and finding your dreams, but also living your dreams. I hope you like, share this video, and subscribe to my channel for lots of stories about travel, life, and fun adventures. So the story goes like this. 5 years ago, my house was under renovation. It was a way to grow equity in my home. I was managing a massive renovation on my home. I was also the gardener for an acre property. I could not afford any help. I had to do everything on my own. After growing up on a dairy farm in rural Ontario, hard work has always been instilled in me. My work ethic is solid, so I felt like I could do this. I also had 2 large dogs, and then one of my dogs had 12 puppies. Yes, I said 12. Just to add to the craziness, I had purchased a pregnant Bernese Mountain Dog, and nobody knew she was pregnant. I just thought she was a big girl. I also had my teenage son living with me full-time in my basement. One of my son's friends came over one day, and he kind of just shook his head and said, "Jack, is it always like this here?" As the hammers banged away, saws were humming, and piles of puppies running through the house. This was my normal of trying to find a balanced life. Oh my gosh, I was so out of balance. I sold all the puppies, but I was suckered into keeping one. Now I had 3 large dogs, a big property under renovation, and a super demanding career. My youngest son, Jack, he was introverted, moody, and I would say depressed, and didn't really want to work at all during the summers. My eldest son, Matt, I had already gone through the summers of my life with him. I think Jack was carrying the burden of feeling like he wanted to take care of me, maybe an obligation of not wanting to abandon me with this big property and all these dogs. We were both stuck in a situation of not having the ability to move forward. We were just stuck. This time of my life was so tough. I was single. I had no time for anything or anyone, including myself. My highlight of the week was a Saturday night. I would have a long bath, wrap myself in a robe, and pretend I was at a spa because I couldn't afford a spa. Then I would sip a bottle of red wine until falling asleep, and repeat 1 week later. It was a moment for numbing, escaping, and forgetting about all my worries for a brief moment. Sunday morning would roll around and it was back to reality. Gardening, grocery shopping, planning for another week. Week after week, month after month went by. This pace of life was taking its toll on me, on my health. I was so stressed, overworked, anxious, and 20 pounds overweight. Life just felt so heavy. I immersed myself into my work and building huge profits for the company I worked for. Doing this gave me a sense of self-worth, a sense of accomplishment. It was great for the company, but not so great for me. I was just numbing the pain. I was surviving, but I was never thriving. I was existing day to day on my own with my 2 boys, 3 dogs, and a few friends that were busy in their own lives. I have no other family in Canada, so I felt truly alone. One day, I decided to take a chance and go out on a date. I took a ferry over to Mill Bay on Vancouver Island. I met a man called Randy. We had lunch and we walked around this area for a while. It was very nice. I opened myself up a little because I felt like I had nothing to lose. I was just caught up in this moment. Randy lived in Nanus Bay and I lived in North Saanich, which is about 2 hours away, so I kind of felt safe. Our date was kind of an escape for me, escape out of life. It was a moment. But like Cinderella, my life went back to reality once I got back home. Randy called me up and he said, "Hey, what are you doing next weekend?" I felt this sense of panic because I had already missed my day of gardening. The hedges needed trimming, the edging needed to be done. I could not let the garden go another weekend, so I declined on the date. I didn't know how to begin to fit Randy into my very busy life. The summer continued and Randy, he hung in there with me. Randy saw something in me that I had forgotten about. I had forgotten about my daring entrepreneurial spirit of working in Vietnam and my 52 trips there, or the girl who could outrun every boy in school and hold provincial records, or make it to the summit of Kilimanjaro. I had become robotic, and my life was at a standstill, comfortably uncomfortable. Patience, consistency, kindness, caring, and being a true friend first grew our relationship into a mutual love for each other. One day we were hiking up Mount Benson on Vancouver Island, and I was really struggling because I had not been taking care of my health. I was too busy. I was quite overweight, which made hiking that much tougher. Randy just kept on encouraging me to keep climbing. Oh my gosh, I was so nasty, moaning and groaning, but Randy, he just remained so positive with me. We reached the peak and I was so thankful. This is where our relationship changed. Then the next few months, I was still working. Randy was heading down to Mexico for the winter as this was part of his routine. We said our goodbyes at my favorite restaurant in the world, which is the Deep Cove Chalet. It was funny because several of my friends were there having lunch and they spotted us. The gossip was rolling. Oh my goodness, there's Jill. Did you see? Jill's on a date. And then I decided to take repetitive holidays and visit Randy in Mexico. This was like my first vacation in years and my first escape out of my day-to-day reality. Soon, from me to we had become a couple, making couples decisions. We became a team. Decisions like where we should live was our next big step. We decided that we wanted to start off fresh and find a home together. We purchased a beautiful home in Nanus Bay in August of 2021. I sold my house in North Saanich in one day. It became an opportunity to become more financially diversified for me. Now all my cash was not invested in one asset. My life was starting to change for the better, both emotionally and financially. Then it was time for my youngest son to learn how to stand on his own 2 feet and to be set free. This was the best thing that happened for Jack. Jack instantly became independent and began to thrive as a young man. Jack and his brother both live in Victoria, Today, I have two very strong, independent young men that I love so dearly. We cheer each other on every step of the way. Randy and I moved into our gorgeous new home in Nanoose Bay in October 2020, but soon discovered it was too much house and too much property for us to leave if we wanted to travel. House prices had been on a momentous and crazy rise. The home we had purchased in 2020 had almost doubled in less than a year. We loved our home, but honestly, when you can double your money tax-free in 1 year, well, let's just say I didn't love it that much. We locked in our capital-free gains, and today we own nothing. We decided to move to Mexico as we both have acquired permanent residency. We sold all of our furniture and everything that we had accumulated over the many years. It was funny because one of my friends, Charles, laughed when he saw me selling coat hangers on Marketplace. The more we sold, the more free we felt. This sense of freeness is intoxicating. I love it. Life is exciting again. Next, I became part of the Great Resignation and I quit my career. My warpath of claiming my life back was in full force now. My dreams were becoming reality.
All right!
September 25th, we left Canada together for Mexico. We arrived in Mexico foot fancy and free. The thought of buying a home and getting tied down again is the furthest thing from our minds. Neither of us want to give up our freedom. This is our trip, our journey of a lifetime. Our time counts. Time is a precious commodity and life is short. You can't take it with you, so don't cheat yourself. This is our time to enjoy our life and live life. We used to spend evenings watching some of the travel on YouTube and thinking, wow, that's a cool place. We decided instead of being a spectator of travel and life, we would take that leap of faith and just do this. We are not dreaming, we are living in the moment now. I can still remember my first time using Google Flights and then booking our first flight. Oh my God, we were heading to Cairo. We have been traveling now for a year together. I could not ask for a better partner to take this journey with. The more we explore and travel, the closer we have become. Randy also introduced me to scuba diving, and now we are diving some of the most premium locations found. This is another entire new world for me to discover. My spirit for adventure and fun is back, and my love for life is present. I can feel again. My fitness and health, both physically and mentally, have never been better. I have a man that loves me. My 2 sons are launched and thriving. Hell, I'm thriving. I lost that nasty 20 pounds of weight and the stress and pain of trying to survive on my own. Today, my life is stable in every essence. It's fun, exciting, and full of new adventures. I have come a long way from those days of being single. I think I was my own worst enemy. I suppressed, numbed, denied my feelings. I was too scared to make changes. So sometimes you just have to rip that Band-Aid off and take a leap of faith. I am living that life that I dreamed of now. Now we travel to close and far away places. Now I can share this with you. I get to be the explorer, the voyager to these places. I dare, I dream, and now I live.